You know that dream, life out on the water? But then reality hits you with the cost and the constant hassle. Well, you are not alone. Today, we're going to look at a really unique solution that completely rethinks what it means to be a boater. Okay, let's dive right in. It's something I call the boat owner's paradox. We all want those picture-perfect days out on the lake, right? But the reality of actually owning a boat can feel like a financial nightmare, not to mention a part-time job in maintenance. So, how do you get one without the other? Well, traditionally, you've had two options. And let's be honest, they're both kind of flawed. You can buy a boat and deal with all the maintenance, the depreciation, the storage headaches, the whole shebang. Or you can rent, which means paying a massive premium for just a few hours of fun, and you're always on someone else's schedule. Neither one is ideal. So in this explainer, we're going to break down a third option. We'll start with that paradox we just talked about, then explore a totally different kind of club model. We'll see how you can join, and most importantly, how it helps you find your crew. Then we'll cover the rules and wrap up with the big question. Is access the new ownership? Okay, so let's get into what makes the North Georgia Boating Club so different. It's not a business, not in the way you'd normally think of one. It's built on a nonprofit, shared resource model. The legal structure here is actually really interesting. According to their bylaws, they're a 501c7 social club. Now, I know that sounds like a bunch of tax jargon, but what it really means is that their entire reason for being is for the pleasure and recreation of their members. It's not about making money for an owner. And that creates this huge psychological shift. When you pay, you're not just a customer buying a service. You're a member who is contributing to a community asset. It totally changes how you view the boats, the facilities, and your role in all of it.
This becomes super clear when you look at the pricing. A typical trip might have what they call a boat use fee, around $50 a person. See, it's not a ticket, it's just your share of the cost for gas and upkeep. This makes getting on the water incredibly accessible.
And here's the best part. Every dollar from those memberships and fees gets reinvested. As the club's bank account grows, they buy more boats and even vacation homes. So the money directly benefits the very people who are paying in. It's a perfect loop. Okay, so the model is fascinating, but how do you actually get involved? Let's walk through that next. The whole pathway is designed to build community from day one. It starts simple. You create a free online profile. This just gets you on the radar of the folks who organize events. Then, based on your interests, you'll get invitations to exclusive gatherings. If you see one you like, that's when you upgrade to a paid membership to attend. And I really want to emphasize this trial period. This is not just some formality. It is a filter. The club is actively making sure its members are responsible and respectful people, which is absolutely essential when you're all sharing high-value assets like boats. This brings us to what is, for my money, the real heart of this whole model. It's not just about sharing a boat, it's about creating shared experiences with the right people. By empowering members to host their own events, the club gets this incredible diversity of experiences. You see everything from couples retreats and family reunions to corporate team building events and even 55-plus sunset cruises. You really get to find your tribe. And this quote from the club's blog just says it all, doesn't it? The boat is the tool, but the goal is human connection. The entire system is built to help people create memories and forge relationships, not just to give them hourly access to a piece of machinery. This basically solves what you could call the social friction problem. A boat is a small space. Being stuck with people you don't really vibe with for a whole afternoon can be miserable. This self-curating model means you're far, far more likely to be out there with people you'll actually have a great time with. Of course, all this shared fun and this great community can only exist on a solid foundation of safety and responsibility. So, let's look at the rules of the water. The club's primary mission is to promote safe boating, and this isn't just a suggestion, it's a core principle. It works hand in hand with official enforcement from agencies like the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. They have a really smart, two-layered approach to safety. First, you have the official Georgia state laws, things like requiring life vests for all kids under 13. But then, the club adds its own rules on top of that, like restricting newer boaters to lower horsepower engines until they've proven their skills to a senior member. Ultimately, this focus on safety acts as another filter. It naturally selects from members who are responsible and willing to learn, rather than people who just want to party and break things. It protects the club's assets, and more importantly, it protects the community culture.
So, when you zoom out and look at this entire model, it points to a really big idea about how we use and enjoy things in our lives.
This quote really gets to the heart of it. Does the dream have to be about possession, or can it be about access? This club suggests that for expensive things that we don't use every day, like boats, having the key can be much smarter and way more fun than having the title. So, what are the big takeaways here? Well, this model shows that a nonprofit structure can really align everyone's interests. It proves that a real community is built through shared, curated experiences. And it suggests that sharing the responsibility can actually be way more rewarding than carrying the burden of owning something all by yourself. And that leaves us with one final thought. Boats are one thing, but this model of shared access and community curation, well, it could apply to so much more. Makes you wonder, right? What else could we be sharing instead of just owning?